They also transmitted by the pipeline, and fire and explosion are the main hazards associated with them, and the boiling points and the explosive limits of hydrocarbons are as and. So if you see in, I think, east in the east in the East Godavari and all, sometimes we used to see the Gale gas pipeline has been leaked and they got explosion. So they used to they used to run thousands of kilometers, these pipelines. So they are very highly dangerous if the people are unknown, or they do any digging by using any JCBs, etc., etc. So if you see the properties and hazard means pramadam, the nature of these chemicals, propane and butane, which are nothing called as an LPG and NGL, natural gas liquids, their boiling points are -42. What is mean by boiling point? The boiling point is a temperature where the liquids converts into a vapor state. Like for example, if you see a boiling point for water, which is 100 degrees centigrade. అంటే 100 డిగ్రీలకి ఎప్పుడైతే వాటర్ టెంపరేచర్ రీచ్ అవుతుందో 100 డిగ్రీల దగ్గర అది స్టీమ్గా మారుతుంది. సో సిమిలర్ వే ఈ ప్రోపేన్ వీటికి -42 అంటే ఏంటి, 0 నుంచి ఇంకా -42 అంటే హై కోల్డ్ టెంపరేచర్స్ లో కూడా ఇది ఎవాపరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఎల్ఈఎల్ వచ్చేసి 2.3, యూఎల్ వచ్చేసి 9.5. 2.3 అంటే చాలా తక్కువ, అంటే నార్మల్ టెంపరేచర్స్ దగ్గర కూడాను మనకి ఈ రేంజ్ అనేది చాలా ఎల్ఈఎల్ ఎంత తక్కువ ఉంటే అంత డేంజర్ అనమాట. తర్వాత బ్యూటెన్ 0.5, 1.9 and 8.5, మీథేన్ is -161, LEL 5.3 and 15, ethane is -88, and ethyl is -103, propane is -47, and LEL of propane is 2.0 and the UL is 11.1. This band is bit higher band compared with the propane, the propylene. Okay. If you see the commercial butane is also called as NP, and the propane are used for as an LPG, and they exit as the gases in ambient condition, but can be liquefied under the initial pressure, and also the release on these pressures, they can again become gases. They'll be basically in the liquid form. If you see in your cylinders also, in household cylinders also, if it touches the bottom of the cylinder, you feel the cold sensation because of it is filled under compressed stage. And as liquid density is 0.5 and will float on and also vaporize on the water surfaces. Therefore, water is not a good extinguisher media for LPG fire, but it is essential to keep a vessel cool, and its vapor density is 1.5 and does not disperse easily. It tends to sink to the lowest possible levels because of vapor density. As I mentioned, vapor density, like chlorine, it is also have tendency to go to sink. Sink in the sense that మునిగిపోవటం లేదంటే నెగటివ్ హైట్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళటం, అంటే పిట్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళటము, సమ్స్ లోకి వెళ్ళటానికి ట్రై చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది. And ignited in the confined space, it can explode also. And the bottom ventilation holes near the LPG cylinders allows leaking gas go to outside, and its explosive range is 2 to 10%, and its flame can travel back to the surface, giving the flashback also. So that's why we use the flashback arresters in the industrial operations. Here we use the regulators. It is also have the flashback arrestor system. And it can cause a cold burns to the skins due to the rapid vaporization and also lowering of the temperatures. It is very high, fifth of its LEL, 0.4 gas in the air, and heavy leaks give the hissing cylinder icing near the area. So hissing sound in the sense like gas in case of leakage, it generally gives the hissing sound, and there the ice gets formed. Even if you see the CO2 fire extinguisher also, once you start operating, the hose will get very cold. Even you can near the nozzle, you can see the ice formation. And never use the any naked flame for the detection. We have to use the soaping solution to understand the leak. And its empty tank may still contain LPG vapors, and in the air enters in the empty tank due to any opening or leaking of the valves, it can be an explosive mixture. So we have seen the containers where I think recently in Nellore or somewhere the diesel tanker got exploded while doing anything welding activity. And there are incidents in many companies also. So whenever if you say or if you see it is empty, it is not really empty. అంటే మనం చూస్తాం ఇది empty అనుకుంటాము, but practically it is not empty. There are vapors inside. Once it is mixed with oxygen, what will happen? It will become a flammable mixture. So once the flammable mixture part with any what do you call ignition source, automatically it get explode. So therefore, it must be purged by the inert gas first, and also the gas test should be made before doing any work. So it is purged with inert gas. So nitrogen or helium or other argon, other inert gases we can purge in the sense we have to penetrate or supply inside so that it will replace the oxygen or other gases inside. Then we can start the work on that specific containers. And if you see the location, other safety aspects, LPG tanks can be sited above or under the ground. There are two options we can do. Not like chlorine, it should be always on the overground. It can be done on underground as well as above the ground. In any case, it should be concreted and also compacted and also free from the pits and also drains and culverts, and the weeds or grass or shrubs, tree and all combustible materials. So wherever you have a storage of LPG, there you should maintain proper housekeeping. We are not supposed to allow to grow any bushes or weeds or any grass or shrubs and trees near around. And separation distance should be maintained as per this table. So how will maintain the separation distance? The tank capacity in the tons or liters into 1,000. So you should have a 0.5 to or 1.5 to 0.5, it is around 2.5 meters, and with a firewall of 0.3. And if it is a 1.1 to 4, and the liters of this capacity, you should have the surrounding clearance of 7.5. All these are in meters. SMPV rules means static mobile pressure vessels rules. So these static mobile pressure vessel rules are applicable for the high pressured storage containers, Mishra. So for all this LPG, chlorine, even diesel, all this will cover in this SMPV rules. Static mobile pressure vessels. So for other capacities, you can refer this table, but it is not such an important for your knowledge only. You can discuss the theoretical part. And it is about the slope also, the similar way for the chlorine. Here also we should concentrate about the slope should be given to the ground beneath the vessels and connecting to the equipment containing LPG to drive away from the dripping or leakage towards the safe area. And such evaporation area or catchment pit should be at least 3 meters from the LPG vessels and sufficient capacity to contain the large credible leaks. So these catchment pits are, in case of any leakage happens, so they can able to capture or they can able to contain, like we used to call the secondary containments. So here we are naming as catchment pits. And for the further detailed firewalls and mechanical integrity, certifications or marking, fitting, safety valves and drain connection, level gauges, valves, pumps and compressors, piping, vaporizers, security, fire prevention, loading, unloading facilities, and compositing and also decompositing, maintenance, examination, operational procedures, and training. We can refer in the previous following lectures. And the minimum safety distance is as per the IS 6044. You can refer this standard to understand better requirements of the safe distances. Okay. Now we'll see about handling of EO, that is ethylene oxide. This is also one of the major chemical which is used in the industrial operations. It is also a colorless gas. If you see the boiling point is minus 111.3 centigrade, which is quite hazardous or quite more dangerous than LPG. Boiling point is 10.7 and the LEL is 3, UL is 100. So if you see the LEL 3 and UL is 100, here the fire point is more. So whenever if you see the gap between the LEL and UL, it is have high chances of probability to catch a fire. So here the fire point is very long. It is have more space because from 3% to 100% means it will have the higher point. And FP, it is 17.8 and also vapor pressure is 1095 mm and 20 at 20 degrees. Vapor density is 1.52 and TLV is 1 ppm and LD for the rat 300 milligrams per kg. So I forgot to tell this point. LD, they will calculate for the based on the weight of the animal or weight of the test piece. Based on the test piece, they will give the concentration or the dose. It is for kg actually. It is a concentration 1462 ppm for 4 hours. And it is toxic and flammable, explosive, fire and explosive hazard or when exposed to heat or flame. To fight firefighting, we use CO2 and the DCP fire extinguishers and also alcohol foam, which is air triple foam. And it can be reacted with acids and bases, alcohol or other chemicals, ammonia, copper, and mercaptanes, potassium. These all are incompatible chemicals with EO, which is ethylene oxide. And the vaporizes rapidly at the ambient temperatures can cause cold burns and also it is soluble in water. So because it is a vapor, it's very exposed solubility, it is very less. Because of 3%, it can start burning in the mixture of air. It is 3% presence is there in the mixture of air, it will start igniting. As I mentioned, the lethal dose always takes the count of the weight of the test animal. Based on the weight, they will give the dosage. So you see that the PVC gloves and apron, gumboots and goggles or face shield and other breathing apparatus are necessary equipments to handle the ethylene oxide. And if you see the safety measures, avoid heat and flame or ignition sources, dilute spillage with plenty of water, and provide nitrogen blanketing. N means the nitrogen blanketing, being hence it is an inert gas. And preferably keep the storage tank or refrigerator, and its pressure should be kept within the operation limits. And equipment cleaning may be done by the citric acid and prevent the backflow or any chemical into the EO vessels. And the storage tank should be separated at least 15 meters from the plants and the buildings. And consolation of vehicles should be prevented by fencing and also barricade, because due to the from the exhaust also there are sometimes of sparks gets in case of any leakage, it can ignite or it can explode. The spillage should be directed at the remote catch pit by an impermeable and also slopy flow. Impermeable means it is not going to absorb. So whatever the leakage happens, it is not going to, or it is absorbed by the any chemical or the ground. Sorry, not chemical, ground. Impermeable means the slope area or the area which is not allowing to penetrate any chemical into the ground. And it polymerizes by iron or rust acids and bases, and dry by chlorides or iron and other metals. Polymerization is highly exothermic and also may result in the explosion. Exothermic means it is releases a rapid amount of heat, or it releases uncontrolled heat in the reaction. And the material of construction, if you see the stainless steel or MS aluminized from interior, and the insulation, mineral wool covered by the galvanized or any SS cladding or gaskets should be Teflon coated. These are the other requirements with respect to the MOC or the material of construction, in the sense the type of material you are using for handling of this EO. And the level gauges are flow different pressures type, and also the torque tube type of magnetic flow type also can be used. And compound pressure and also the vacuum gauge is preferable, and the temperature gauge with high and low temperature alarm necessary. Hence it is having the fire point is very big. Then double safety valves, at least one must be locked open with 2 meter distance from the outlet pipes. And flame arresters, again, N2 purging connection should be there to remove the flammable mixture from the specific area. And prevent the reverse flow of the EO or NRV is non-written valve. NRV is nothing but non-written valve, and also double block and bleed valve system should be required. This double block bleed means it is basically this kind of setup is used for the, especially to do a maintenance of the pipelines. This is also one of the system we can implement. Then in any emergency, start the water spray system on, or also circulate the chilled water throughout the limpet coils, and also use of fire hydrant system, and knock down the vapors with the water spray, and also dilute continuously with the water spray process. This is the action we can use in case of any emergency. Then a pump temperature should not rise the 3 degrees centigrade. Therefore, it should be kept cool, and also recycled from delivery to the suction. And a centrifugal pump with a mechanical seal is normally used. If temperature margin is 3 degrees, increases the pump store should be stopped. This is also one of the safety control. To avoid the accident of EVO, the tankers are provide a driver with the trump card, DCP fire extinguisher, and also the PVC gloves or respirators. In extreme cases, EVO may be transferred from one tanker to which can be pulled out or run to another by using nitrogen cylinders. It can be used for in case of any leakage of any one tanker. We can use the nitrogen purging to transfer from one tanker to other tanker. Okay, with this, we have done with this session. If you have any questions, we can discuss. And tomorrow we have class at 10 to 12 in the morning, not in the evenings. So I request everybody to join at 10. I will send you the invite. Yeah, purging is nothing but, for example, whenever uh, I think it is purging is nothing but it's a filling of the gas, especially the inert gas, to the containers or the cylinders or any specific equipment where there is a presence of flammable mixture. For example, if you do any confined space activity, basically what we do, we'll do the cleaning of the reactor or whatever the space. Then we'll put the exhaust fan inside or to supply the air inside, so that what will happen, having generation of heat as well as explosive mixture, so that to avoid oxygen presence in that such cases, they use such reactions under the purging of nitrogen. Purging is nothing but just you are uh, filling the space with the inert gases. That's all. Yeah, Aditya, I'll send this PPT right away. I'll just stop sharing. I'll send the PPT now itself. Okay, thank you. I'll share the PPT now. So tomorrow we have 10 a.m. class. You'll get the invite. So please join accordingly. Mostly from now onwards, we'll have classes only on Saturday and Sundays. Weekdays, it is not possible for me. So try to join, and I will also make sure that every week, every weekend we have classes, so that we'll complete the portion. Yeah, thanks.